judges, please.
Hi, thank you very much. Hi. Hi, Judith. Hi. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, Graham. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you. And of course, hi.
My name is Kasia and I have a pleasure to be your head judge today.
Thank you very much.
I
Nice to meet
wanted
you.
to ask you if everything is okay.
Everything's wonderful.
Do you have any special instructions for us?
Hopefully, just enjoy.
Okay, so then I wish you good luck, do your best.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Are we ready? Are we comfortable? In that case, this is my time. Dear judges, I'm so excited to be stood in front of you today at the beginning of the next chapter of my journey with specialty coffee. My journey with specialty coffee started a little over a year ago, where I first encountered an anaerobically fermented red catawai from Brazil. From this point on, I've been intrigued by fermentation methods and how these affect our final cup. So as a result, this is what we'll be looking at today. The coffee I have here today is a pink bourbon varietal, grown at 1,900 meters above sea level in Huila, Colombia. I picked this coffee for its pleasant mouthfeel. The cherries are picked at 18 degrees Brix, this being their optimal ripeness. This gives me a much sweeter final cup. Once the cherries are depulped, the coffee is then moved to its first of two fermentations. The first fermentation being a 48-hour anaerobic fermentation taking place in plastic sealed bags. This is performed at low temperatures, allowing the enzymes to break down slowly, forming exciting new flavored compounds in our coffee today, which you will recognize as a bright and vibrant acidity. Once the first fermentation is complete, the coffee is then moved to a second fermentation, this being a 24-hour submerged mosto fermentation. This fermentation provides me with a much sweeter, flavorful, and balanced final cup. For the mosto fermentation, it takes place in the juices from the cherries of the very same varietal. What's important with this coffee, however, that it doesn't over-ferment. So the coffee is exposed to 60-degree hot water for 15 minutes. This opens up the pores of the coffee, trapping in any new volatile flavor compounds. You will recognize this today as an increased florality, which you will perceive in your espresso as orange blossom. I'm just preparing one of my ingredients today for my signature course. But we'll come on to this later. So, for my espresso round today, I'll be using a recipe of 21 grams in to 45 grams out. This is the recipe I'll be using across all my rounds today. This is because I found a wonderful balance between the florality, acidity, and sweetness. I would now like you to note the following flavor profiles for your espresso today. You will get notes of orange blossom, black cherry, cranberry, with a toffee aftertaste. The espresso has a medium body, it has a medium acidity, a medium sweetness, and a low to medium bitterness, and a velvety mouthfeel. Now, as I serve your espressos for you today, I'd like you to first evaluate the crema, and please wait for my drinking instruction. I would like for you to use one of the spoons in front of you to stir your espresso 7 times from back to front. Then please use one of the vessels in front of you for your dirty spoon. Thank you and enjoy. Thank you. Now, if you're ready, we can move on to my milk course. For my milk course today, it was important for me that I maintained the fruity flavors, and that I had to find a milk that would support this. So the milk I have for you today is a freeze distilled milk, where 50% of the water content has been removed. This gives me a higher concentration of fats, lactose, and proteins, allowing me to elevate the body and the sweetness of my milk course. For your milk course today, I'll be using 90 milliliters of milk, which pairs wonderfully with my espresso. When roasting this coffee, it was important for me that we treated it gently, due to the fact it had gone through 2 forms of fermentation. This is because the cell structure becomes weakened. So we opted for a gentle drying phase and a gentle Maillard reaction, allowing the fruity flavors to develop slowly. We opted for a 2 minutes and 23-second total development time of a 13 minute and 13 second total roasting. And this coffee was roasted 12 days ago. Now, when steaming your milk, I'll be aiming for an intentional temperature of 50 degrees. This is a little cooler than you're used to. However, this first ensures instant drinkability, and secondly, it is the temperature at which I found optimal sweetness. You may now note the following flavor profiles for your milk course today. You will have notes of cheesecake, caramel biscuits, with a raspberry ice cream aftertaste. The milk course today has a creamy mouthfeel. Now, as I serve your milk course for you today, I would like you to evaluate the visual. Evaluate the visual, and please enjoy it straight away at its best drinking temperature. Thank you, and enjoy. Thank you, and enjoy. Thank you, and enjoy. Thank you, and enjoy. So, if you're ready, we can begin with our signature drink. The aim of my signature drink today was to elevate the flavors of the coffee attained through fermentation by using products which have undergone their own forms of fermentation. So first off, we have the 4 shots of espresso, extracted at the beginning of the performance, and I've allowed them to cool down to support the drinking temperature of my signature course. This will be 8 degrees. I've used reusable ice cubes as to not dilute the espresso. Next I have, prepared for you today, a coffee blossom tea. I have 1 gram with 60 grams of 95-degree hot water. When coffee blossom dries, it goes through enzymatic oxidation. This traps in new, exciting flavor compounds. You will recognize these today alone as rose and sweet honey, but with the coffee, it turns our orange blossom flavor into jasmine tea. Next, I have for you 20 grams of a self-made red grape must, or mosto. This represents the second fermentation. I've extracted the juices from whole red grapes. I then boiled it afterwards as to not perform an alcoholic fermentation. This turns your cranberry flavor into green apple. And lastly, I have 10 grams of a macerated lime syrup. I covered the rinds of limes in 100 grams of brown sugar and left this overnight for 16 hours. This allowed the oils to seep out the rinds, creating a tangy and vibrant acidity. This changes your black cherry note into golden grapefruit. I'm now combining them in the nitro whipper, creating a nice homogeneous taste. And this gives you another round mouthfeel, replicating that of my espresso. Now, as I serve your signature drink for you today, I'd like you to wait for me to call my time. But to recap, in that first sip, you'll have notes of green apple and jasmine tea with a round mouthfeel. In that second sip, you'll have a long golden grapefruit aftertaste. Now, the specialty coffee industry is an industry that's ever changing and ever demanding. But thanks to talented producers coming up with new fermentation methods all the time, our final cup will never be boring. I'd like to thank you all for joining me on my next chapter on my journey with specialty coffee. This is my time.
Applause for George Manuel.
Thank you.
Oh, she's gonna come back. Shake hands. Time to relax.
Lovely, that's great.
Relief?
Yes, yeah, it's gone well, I think, so I'm pleased. I'm relieved to have it done, pleased with the whole journey, and yeah, great, really enjoyed it.
Good. Did you enjoy the whole journey?
The whole process, when, like I said, you have like a blank sheet to start with, and then you get the coffee, you source it, you find the best roast profile, all the way through then to concentrating it into 15 minutes. It's amazing, but I loved it, really loved it.
Good. So for the audience, what does it mean to create these 15 minutes?
It's it goes so quickly when you're up here, but it's just routine. It's finding out everything that you can about the coffee to make sure that your routine on those 15 minutes is as best as possible.
How much time put you in?
That's probably, well, because we had the preliminary rounds, I probably started training early in May.
Quick.
Ooh. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Judith. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great. Anyone that's even considering doing championships, I'd thoroughly recommend it. But like I said, from May starting all the way through to now, it's been a long 5 months, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good, good, very good to see. New faces, exciting faces, and hopefully now being rewarded already being in a final, right?
It's a huge success in itself, so anything that happens today is a lovely bonus.
Good. So big applause for George Manuel.